Majority of people don't invest enough into themselves. Some don't at all. They spend time on everything else besides the things that move them forward. But if you want to be able to grow in 2025, or especially in the upcoming years, 2026 to 2027, a change has to be made. In 2025, I'm setting a better standard for myself. Looking back at 2024, there are definitely some good moments, but there was also a lot of room for improvement in all aspects of my life. That's why in today's video, we'll be talking about my 5 non-negotiables for 2025. This is part 1 of 5 of my 5 non-negotiables for 2025 series, where I'll be breaking down what I'm prioritizing this year, things I already do, things I want to improve on, and why it all matters. Before we get into it, if you're new here, my name is Desmond. This channel is all about growth, mindset, and documenting my journey as I work to become the best version of myself. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out. Usually I look at the year in 4 quarters, and right now we are in the first quarter, which is January, February, and March. And as of today, I'm recording this video on the 25th of February, and March is right around the corner. So we need to stay locked in and focused on the play. For those of you who watch sports, whether consistently or just a few times, you know the first quarter of any game is always flexible. It's where teams are feeling each other out, setting the pace, or making adjustments. This first quarter is about setting the right tone for the rest of the year. And to be real, it's been a little concerning for me personally, but we're still in February and March is right around the corner, so we have time to stay focused. In 2024, I actually began getting the ball rolling for myself. I started making small changes, being more intentional with my time, and figured out what mattered to me the most. But if I'm being real, I definitely could have been more consistent on my actions. One of my 5 non-negotiables for 2025 is investing more time into yourself. It's not about just being busy, but rather being more intentional to how you spend your time. That means focusing on things that actually add value into your life and not just filling up your schedule. For me, that looks like a mix of things that I'm already doing, things that I want to improve on, and things that I want to do in the future. So now I'm going to talk about some of the things that I do to help invest more time into myself. One way I've been investing more time into myself is reading, and reading is something I do not very consistent anymore, but I do read often. But one of the things that I've been reading personally have been my Bible. I've been really locked into this for the past couple of weeks now. I also want to start reading other books that I have not started and still need to finish. For example, I have the 4 Agreements. Yeah, the 4 Agreements. I heard a lot about this book, and I'm very excited to read it. And also, a book that I need to finish is Master Your Emotions. I've had this book for quite some time, and I was very into it. I think I just put it down and I just stopped reading it, to be honest. But the author recommends practical things you can do in your life that helps navigate your emotions and things that shouldn't move you when it comes to how you go in this world. If I had to read, let me read a chapter to you guys. So I know part 1 of this book is what emotions are, and then the subheadings are how your survival mechanism affects your emotions, what is the ego, the nature of emotions, and then you have part 2, which will be the next chapter, I guess, or the next section, is what impacts your emotions. The impact of sleep on your mood, using your body to influence your emotions, using your thoughts to influence your emotions. You guys get the gist, but I will recommend this book if you guys need a read to do. Another big thing for me that I do to invest more time into myself is staying active. And one thing I do is I go to the gym. I don't go to the gym as consistently as I do anymore, which I used to go 6 times a week. But since my schedule is very I don't have a set schedule, I go 4 days a week now. One of the big things that I do that I like to stay active in is running. I'm a big runner. I love running. I have a couple of friends who like running, but there was at a point in time where I was having some people run with me, just to get people outside, just to this is kind of like an activity to do. So I know that's one of the things I want to do once the summer comes up. As far as that, I live in Michigan. We are in the winter mode, and it is just crazy. It's just crazy. For you guys who are at home and you don't go to the gym as regularly as you can, or you don't go as much as I do, I just recommend at-home workouts. Or if you just don't want to do that either, stretching is also like something that you should do to get your body moving. I honestly stretch before I work out. I stretch every time. Stretching is one of the big things I do. And also walking is a big thing. Just go for a walk, literally. This podcast by the name of The Diary of a CEO. He was interviewing a professor. I think her name is Dr. Wendy. I don't know her last name because I know I'll say it wrong. But Dr. Wendy something, and she's a neuroscience professor at New York University. And I was watching the podcast, and it was a great podcast. I honestly recommend it. The title of the podcast is called The Exercise Neuroscientist. New research, the shocking link between exercise and dementia. It definitely was eye-opening. It definitely was an eye-opener for me. She talks about how just walking, for people who, if you're around my age, you probably go to college and you get your steps in, walking around your campus, which is also good in helping you and helping your brain. Getting up, going for a walk is also very important for your body, and I recommend that wholeheartedly. If you guys are not able to go to the gym, or you just don't feel like doing it, whatever you don't feel like doing. But I recommend just taking a walk. So another big thing I also do to invest more time into myself is journaling. Journaling is something I do regularly. I haven't been doing very often. Usually I would journal every morning, but I recently stopped because I kind of just I don't want to say it's I kind of got wore out, but I just didn't want to make it seem like it was a chore for me. But I wholeheartedly recommend journaling. If you don't journal, you should find a journal, find a pencil, and just start journaling. What do you journal about? Well, you could literally journal about anything. When I first started, I was journaling about, it was just anything that was on my mind. I was journaling about anything on my mind, but that's when I actually started looking up journal prompts, things to write about. For example, I have a journal structure in my phone. I have specific prompts that I do each day. Today is Tuesday, so Tuesday will be dedicate this day to journaling about a specific day from the week, an important or impactful day. Reflect on the events, what you learned, and how you felt during the day. That is something I would be journaling about. Journaling helps me reflect on what is happening in my life and also keeps me consistent on my goals. So I highly recommend that you guys learn how to journal. The next thing I have on my list is taking walks without your phone. Now, you don't have to necessarily take walks, but I'll say some of the things I do is when I wake up in the morning, I limit my phone. I don't touch my phone for an hour after I get up. It's just more about limiting your screen time, being able to be away from your phone as much as you can, especially in this day and age. Quick little story time. In my hometown, I lived in an apartment complex, and our apartment complex had multiple ponds. We had three or four. And one of the ponds had a boardwalk, and this boardwalk, you could sit on the boardwalk and you could look over the pond, and then also the sun will come up. It was just a beautiful scene. I probably will put it right here. I'll put it on the screen. It's just a very beautiful scene. That's something I would do. I will wake up in the morning, I'll get my morning started, and then I will instantly go out the door, go to that spot, and just chill out and just relax and not think about anything else. It just it was a refresher. It definitely helped me. Also, just getting sun in general is very good for your body. For you guys who also live in Michigan as well, and we are currently in winter moment, vitamin D supplements are also very good. If you don't take any, you definitely should look into it, do your research. Now, those are the things that I currently do at the moment, but some things that I want to do in the future as far as improving myself. Hobbies, let's talk about it. So 3 hobbies that I want to get into, one being Taekwondo and probably a little bit of boxing. Do I see myself sparring? Not necessarily. Why would I get into a self-defense class and not test my skills? But I know that's one thing I wanted to do. Also, I do want to get back into soccer. For those of you guys don't know, I grew up playing soccer since I was a kid. I played a lot of different sports, but I wasn't with teams. Like, I just played at recess, and I know I was good at sports, but I didn't start playing soccer like for real until I was in the 5th grade. So I've been playing soccer from 5th grade all the way up to my senior year of high school. So I do want to get back into that. And then the third thing also is, guys, I know I don't know how to swim, so that I know it's crazy within itself, but that is something I do want to learn, and I think it's necessary to learn. So something to add to my bucket list. So another way that I invest more time into myself is poetry. Now, I don't talk about this much, but I do write poetry. I've been writing poetry for 7-8 months now. It definitely helps me get out what I'm thinking. It's like a creative outlet for me, and I do want to keep it going. Do I recommend it for you guys at home? I actually do. I really do recommend others just learn poetry as well. It definitely takes a lot of time. It took me 7-8 months to really learn like what I want to write about and like different topics I can write about, and it also keeping my mind sharp, like just building my craft. That's something I've been doing from time. And I'm getting ready to start posting my poetry on Instagram. So for you guys that are following me on Instagram, stay tuned. I definitely have some more coming. So these last two things I will tie together, and these two things are things that I do that help invest more time into myself, which is my side hustle and my financials. So I will keep this brief because I can make like a whole separate video about this, but I'll consider this like a side hustle, is making content on the side. The main thing I want to do though is I want to do more camera work. I want to do more editing. Having a YouTube channel is pretty cool. Like making your own content is pretty dope. But where I want to go, like where my niches are, is camera work and editing. So I could definitely talk about this more in a different video. So the next thing would be my financials, and I've been working on improving my financial habits, whether it comes to me saving more, investing more, and just maintaining things overall. So that's something that I'll talk about in a different video, and I'm just going to keep this brief for the moment so the video doesn't get too long. Majority of people don't invest enough into themselves. Some don't at all. They spend time on everything else besides things that move them forward. But if you want to be able to grow in 2025, or especially in the upcoming years, 2026 to 2027, a change has to be made. That's why I'm holding myself accountable, and you should too as well. At the end of the day, investing in yourself looks different for everyone. Whether it's learning a new skill, maintaining your health, or overcoming new challenges, the goal stays the same: growth. This is just part 1 of 5 of my 5 non-negotiables for 2025 series. Let me know what you guys are doing to invest more time into yourselves in the comments this year. Alright guys, to wrap this up, before I go, this is my second channel. Please go subscribe to that. This channel is going to be geared to a more professional side of me showcasing my work to others. This channel personally is going to be more personal than anything. Bloopers, talks like this one. If you are locked in for 2025, make sure you guys subscribe and turn on post notifications to hear my part 2 of my 5 non-negotiables. I'll see you in the next video.